An anthology on the bad, the short-lived, and the forgotten shows and events in television history. You are listening to It Was a Thing on TV.
On this week's Super Train Mystery, Hail to the Chief. Two dwarfs and a magician replace a presidential candidate with a double so real, even his wife can't tell.
Episode 519, submission number 419B. The Trading Card Show, Volume 2. I don't remember how long ago it was, but we talked about different TV-related trading cards. We focused more on the past. We talked about stuff like, the Pee-wee's Playhouse trading cards around 1990. I remember mentioning we talked about the Three Stooges trading cards from 1959, where I think the wrapper, we did an eBay price right, but a wrapper from that went for like $600. That's how rare they are. But then there's other TV shows. Alf had trading cards. Alf was also in Pog form, in case you don't know. Thank you, Simpsons. Growing Pains had trading cards.
That's right, Mike. We had trading cards and tops.
So you could get an Alan Thicke rookie. Absolutely. There are Happy Days trading cards, Gong Show trading cards. I mean, just about everything was a trading card, it seemed, at least in terms of popular shows. No, there wasn't any Cannon trading cards. No, we didn't get a card of Cannon saying, I can't eat cheese. Opportunity lost back in 1972. This time I want to focus more on contemporary cards because I noticed at the National Card Show back in July, non-sports cards are a big thing. A lot of people were chasing Star Wars trading cards. Not just Star Wars the movie, but The Mandalorian had a set of cards. In addition to The Mandalorian and the OG Star Wars series, the non-television series, as much as it may hurt Chico to hear this, the Acolyte had cards. I appreciate your Yankees thumbs down guy, Chico. I'm just the messenger, so don't shoot the messenger. Yes, you may not have liked the Acolyte, but the Acolyte doesn't care about you.
Obviously.
Well, go on eBay and buy some Acolyte trading cards and make yourself feel better. So as I was saying before I upset dear Chico, the non-sports card hobby really has exploded over the last, I would say since COVID, to be honest. The cards have been around in some capacity for going on like 65, 70 years. And we talked about some of the old shows from the 70s and the 80s and even the 90s. But nowadays, there are so many different varieties. And really, the only company that makes quality cards, nothing against Topps, they have the Star Wars license and did the Mandalorian and all that. But there's a little company called Rittenhouse, and Greg and I have talked about this company, Rittenhouse, over the years. They are the king of non-sports trading cards, specifically TV shows and even some movie cards. One of the big things that Rittenhouse released, and I think this is what put them on the map, and this is years ago, talking 1999, believe it or not, so we're talking 25 years ago. They did a Twilight Zone series, and then they released other Twilight Zone series. Series 2 was released in 2000, Series 3 was released in 2002, Series 4 was released in 2005, and then there was an Archives edition, which was released in 2020. And they got so many people who were on the show to sign cards. And we've actually shared a number of them from the different series over the years. I have a couple with me right here because I decided to bring some props for the show this time. And I don't remember what series these are. I think this first one is from the 2020 series, Horse and Bean. So he must have signed this maybe like less than a year before he passed away, because this looks like the 2020 series. And then I got this one, I think it was about 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And I think I got this at Greg's insistence after talking about it on the show. I don't know what series this is. This might be the Series 3 from 2002. A Ron Masak signed card.
And the best part about that card is he's playing the harmonica on that card.
And it actually says on the back, Ron Masak as Harmonica Man in the Purple Testament. So they even get the episode title. And even some of the inscriptions here have to do with the characters they played. So Orson Bean, Mr. Beavis, he has his inscription, "Hi." And I think that's just so fitting for Orson Bean, because you know what? Orson Bean, I think, would be the person who just randomly come up to you in public and say hi. He seems like one of the nicest guys ever. The Twilight Zone trading cards, they're just like off the charts with the names that they get. I know William Shatner signed numerous cards. He, I think, was one of the big chase cards in one of the series. I don't remember if it was the first series or whatever series it is. But Shatner had some signed cards. I'm looking at the main image on the Rittenhouse website for the Series 3, and that's a Jonathan Winters autograph card.
Ooh.
Yeah. And, well, Jonathan Winters did have cards in Americana, but that would have been like a year and a half, 2 years before he died, because I think he passed away in 2009, and Americana came out in 2007. But there's also, and I forget which series this is, and I'm guessing this is related to one series. There were cut signatures of Rod Serling inserted in the packs. I think there were 50 of them. That's your ultimate chase card right there. Rod Serling cut autograph. And I just saw Greg's face light up when I said that.
Oh, of course. Who wouldn't want to get the host of the original Lives Club?
Yeah, forget that show Twilight Zone. Forget Night Gallery. Let's talk about the original Liars Club. Did it have Shadi LaRue? No. Well, admittedly, Shadi LaRue was almost 20 years later. Regardless. Still, it's like super cool. Cut Rod Serling autographs. And actually, I think I read somewhere that his daughter helped create this series. Or curated it, or something. She had some role in developing this Twilight Zone series of cards. So that's how Rittenhouse got on the map, I believe. Because I remember the Twilight Zone trading cards were released, I said 99. I want to say, did I buy a box of them back in the day? I don't know where the heck I would have gotten Twilight Zone trading cards, but I thought I opened some of them back in the day. And yeah, there's just a bunch of pictures from the TV show, but still very collectible. I mean, that's all these are, for the most part, for these TV shows is, hey, here's an image from a TV show.
Oh, hold on a second, Mike. You mentioned Shatner, but you know who was also in a Rittenhouse Twilight Zone set?
Who was that?
George Takei.
That makes sense.
Yep.
And actually, that's going to take us to the next series I want to talk about, because Star Trek, good heavens, have they had a ton of cards. I'm not even joking. I'm going all the way to the bottom of this screen for the Rittenhouse Star Trek cards. Their first series was released in 1999. I can't even count how many series there are. I'm going to just do it really fast. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45, 48. Hey, join along. Count by threes with Mike. 51, 54,
57, 60, 63,
66,
69.
No, stop. I didn't want to say it. 72, 75, 78, 81, 84, 87, 90, 93, 96, 99. There's 99 different sets of Star Trek cards on Rittenhouse's page.
Does this span all of the eras, Mike?
There's 99 sets. What
Yeah.
do you think the answer to that is?
Never mind.
So we have original series, we got Next Gen, we got DS9, we got Voyager, we got Enterprise, and we got all the stuff on Paramount Plus, because you're talking your Discovery, Strange New Worlds,
Lower
Prodigy, Lower Decks, the works.
There's even a set released in 2003 dedicated to the animated series.
That is cool.
That's how deep this runs. So basically, if there's anything you care about Star Trek-wise, there's trading cards for it. Now, can you find some of these boxes that are 20 and 25 years old on eBay? Maybe. I don't know. I've never looked for it. But the thing is, if you're looking for singles, I think that's the way to go. Yeah, looking through this list of everything, I mean, there's a set of trading cards devoted to 7 of 9. There's one for Captain Janeway. There's one for the Star Trek movie in 2009. There is literally everything. There's 2009 set dedicated to the original series. There's a set dedicated to Odo, for heaven's sakes.
Yes!
Now, I got to take a look at this because I want to see if there's Rene Auberjonois autographs in this.
Oh, I would love to have one of Renee.
Going through this list, there's TNG Heroes and Villains. There's actually 2 sets of Heroes and Villains from TNG back in 2013. There's everything you could ever imagine on this. And actually, I'm taking a look at one of the cards. This is from 2016. I know I have a Star Trek card here. Oh, the Norman Lloyd. Yeah, this is from 2016. We talked about that.
I have that too.
Yeah, I think you're the one who encouraged me to get this because you bought it on eBay. So that's the Star Trek TNG from 2016. But yeah, there's Discovery, there's Lower Decks, as Greg said. There's everything in terms of Star Trek. Now, I want to go to this Odo set and see if there's any autographs. Oh, there's no... This is stupid. There's no checklist. What happens if I click the printable version? There's no friggin' checklist, so what am I looking for?
I believe if you search online, there is a site that lists all these Star Trek Rittenhouse autos somewhere. I have seen it. I gotta find it.
I'm going to do the second best thing. I'm going to go on eBay and see what Rene Auberjonois autographs are going for. From the Star Trek series in 2007, there's a buy it now for $110. There's one for $50. There's one for $17. Buy it now. Well, Warehouse 13, it's $17.83. So it looks like they can be bought for not that much money for somebody who's not signing it anymore. But now that I look at these cards, it reminds me I do have a card from somebody in one of the Star Trek series besides Norman Lloyd. And if I have it, well, everybody is going to know what's coming up very soon. It better be in this. Oh, there it is. Tee-hee-hee. And again, I think this was a Greg recommendation. And I think this is from the original Star Trek release in 1999. Diana Muldaur.
Oh, no.
Oops, I dropped it. Oh, no, Diana.
No, Diana. Why? Why'd you have to fall down that elevator shaft?
I really didn't want to talk about it.
Oh my God!
Why did I just drop that card? It could have gotten dinged. I know it's in a case, but it could have been damaged. I shouldn't have done that, but it's fine. So yeah, that Odo autograph, the Rene Auberjonois, they're out there, and again, I saw a few for like $20. And again, not bad for a person who's not around any longer, and also somebody who not only is big in the Star Trek verse, but I think for us, he's equally as big in the Benson verse. And maybe if you want to take it a step further, he's really big in the It's Always Sunnyverse because he was Dee's acting teacher.
Yes. So think about that. Renee technically coached Caitlin Olsen in acting. And let's be honest, Dee Reynolds, not the best actress.
No.
I gotta give Caitlin Olsen credit. She's very good at pretending to be a bad actress.
I haven't seen her on a new ABC show.
Hey, she was a guest picker on College Game Day earlier this season.
She was, yes.
Speaking of College Game Day, as we're recording this, tomorrow on College Game Day, Timothée Chalamet is going to be the guest picker on College Game Day. So I guarantee you, all those picks are going to look nice and they're going to look sexy.
It looks nice. It looks sexy.
Moving on, the next series I want to talk about that has trading cards, a reasonably new series. Talking about Game of Thrones. And these are huge. Everybody wants to get an autograph of Emilia Clarke or Peter Dinklage or just about anybody on that cast. Obviously, Game of Thrones was overwhelmingly popular, even if I've never seen an episode of it. But taking a look at the Rittenhouse page, there's 17 different series of Game of Thrones cards that have been released since 2012. And it actually looks like that there was a release for every season, because I see season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a complete trading card set, and some other images, and House of the Dragon season 1. So if you're big into the Game of Thrones, and really, I think this is a natural connection. If you like Game of Thrones, you probably enjoy some sort of cards, thinking card games, thinking maybe Dungeons and Dragons, even though that's not cards. So I think that's actually a natural fit.
And I guarantee you, House of the Dragon, there's probably a Matt Smith auto in there.
I'm looking. The answer to that is affirmative. He does have autographs in this series. And I'm not going to lie, taking a look at the list of people who signed in this series, I have no idea who the hell any of these people are outside of Matt Smith.
Matt Smith's the draw in that set.
Well, I was really saying that's my level of expertise about Game of Thrones. I've had HBO for 4 years now. I've never seen an episode of House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones, so I have no idea who the hell any of these people are. But I do know who Matt Smith is because I'm not a total idiot.
But you can pick Peter Dinklage out from a lineup, I bet.
Jeez! Give me a challenge, Chico. Peter Dinklage from a lineup. I think he's the person who's 4'1". Call it a hunch.
I want to say it's the short dude that can kick Will Ferrell's ass.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
That's actually the second reference I've heard of that this week. That's amazing.
Peter Dinklage and Elf beating the shit out of Will Ferrell.
Yes, because where I heard it on Gilbert Gottfried's podcast, and this must have been released, I think it was last week. It coincided, I think, with what would have been Ed Asner's birthday. They re-uploaded one of his interviews with Gilbert from, I'm guessing, like 2013 or 2014. And he actually mentioned Peter Dinklage kicking Will Ferrell's butt. And also, since we talked about Liars Club earlier, remember the TV anchor in the last 15 minutes of Elf? That's the announcer of the new Liars Club after Bill Armstrong left.
Talking about the hustle bustle going on those Vancouver streets.
And who the hell can afford a Rolls Royce in Vancouver in 1988? Just saying. The next TV show we're going to talk about, again, from Rittenhouse. And actually, this is a good tie because we went from Game of Thrones, talking about Matt Smith. We're going to go to Doctor Who. And on Rittenhouse's website, they only have 4 releases. So I'm guessing they're only doing releases on this page from like the last 3 years. There's Doctor Who Series 11 and 12 trading cards. There's Doctor Who Series 11 and 12 UK edition trading cards. And then Doctor Who Series 1 to 4 and Doctor Who Series 5 to 7. But this is the new cast, so I'm guessing that this starts with like the 9th Doctor and it goes up to the current Doctor, because I don't see any Tom Baker on these. I see Matt Smith on the image for the Doctor Who Series 5 to 7. So they're not really true Doctor Who in terms of OG Doctor Who, Doctors 1 through 7 and 8. Looks like it's starting with Doctor 9.
Yeah, I see series 11 and 12 with Jodie Whittaker on them.
Now, I know Topps back in the 2010s released some vintage Doctor Who cards. I know that.
The next series, and I'm sure this is beloved to 2 individuals around here. I'll give you a hint. It's not beloved to me. There were 2 sets of Twin Peaks trading cards in the late 2010s.
Yes, that was right after the Showtime series came out.
And I'm just taking a look at the autograph cards in this series. This is like a who's who of people we've talked about in the podcast. Not even kidding. Kyle MacLachlan has a signed card. Michael Ontkeen has a signed card. David Duchovny, Peggy Lipton, Piper Laurie. The list goes on and on.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Piper Laurie, I got a swatch of hers from a Donruss Americana set like a year or 2 ago.
Jim Belushi is in this series.
Yes.
I mean, they went all out. And then there's dual autographs, David Lynch and Kyle MacLachlan. That's got to be the chase card of the set.
Oh, that goes for big bucks.
Oh, that has to be really huge. And I think that's the only autograph of David Lynch in this series. And this is the 2018 series. They list it as scarce, and it says here that scarce is under 100 cards. So you know it's going to be worth money, not just David Lynch and Kyle MacLachlan, but 100 of them. That's like the perfect storm of popularity and rarity where it's going to be big bucks. And then in the 2019 set, Michael Ontkeen has a ton of cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different cards that he autographed. I think it may be the same card, but the inscriptions are different. There's one that says Harmony, Cooper, What's Up, Twin Peaks, Who Killed Laura, I'm No Dr. Watson, Where's My Hat, Donuts for Everyone, Albert, and Sheriff Harry Truman. It looks like they're all the same trading card, just different inscriptions. Same with Harry Goes. He's got, looks like about 8 or 9. And then Cheryl Lee, same. Piper Laurie. Looks like she has about 10 or so with 10 different inscriptions. Dana Ashbrook and Gary Hirschberger. And that's it for the multiple different types of inscriptions. But Billy Zane has a card in this. Extremely limited. What's extremely limited? 100 to 200 cards.
Ooh.
But it's not scarce. That's the 100 and less. Tom Sizemore has a very limited card.
And I bet that goes for a lot of money now with his recent passing.
Now that he's gone, yeah. And very limited is 200 to 300. Walter Olkowitz has a card. Candy Clark has a card. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of names here that we've talked about. And they all have signed cards in this 2019 set. So that's Rittenhouse's releases from the past. In the future, and I know I'm clamoring for some of these, specifically one. But I'll go through the list and you can see what's coming up in the future in 2025 or beyond. Star Trek Discovery Season 5 is actually going to be released a week from Wednesday, December 18th. Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2 will be released on March 26th of 2025. Twin Peaks The Log Lady Chronicles, May 14th of 2025. The rest of these, there's no date just yet, but here's what's coming up in the near future. Game of Thrones House of the Dragon Season 2, Twilight Zone Autograph Expansion. That sounds interesting, whatever that is. Foundation Seasons 1 and 2, The Hunger Games Premiere Edition, Star Trek 60th Anniversary Trading Cards, Game of Thrones Relics of the Realm Trading Cards, Star Trek Section 31 Movie Trading Cards, and Doctor Who Archives Trading Cards. But I saved one for last because I didn't know this had a release date until just now, because I've been clamoring for this since I first heard about it, probably around July or August. The Cheers Premiere Edition trading cards are coming out February 26th. I cannot wait for that. I will buy probably minimum 2 or 3 boxes of that. They're only probably going to be like $150, definitely under $200 a box. But I think they're putting 2 autographs in each box, and they're getting everybody, at least from the first 4 seasons. And that's what this series is. It's the first 4 seasons of Cheers. And if the Cheers series does really well, I wouldn't be surprised if in 2026, 2027, they release seasons 5 through 8 and 9 through 12, or however they do that. If it's popular, they're definitely going to make it. Just take a look at the 99 plus series of Star Trek cards that are out there. They're going to be getting people like Ted Danson to sign, and Woody Harrelson's going to sign. I wonder if Shelley Long's going to sign. I think that'd be an interesting get if she does that. But you're going to have George Wendt. You're going to have John Ratzenberger.
Kelsey Grammer.
He's got to be in there, absolutely. And I thought I read someplace that Rittenhouse may have autographed cards from Harry Anderson. Maybe they can make cut cards out of that. So there's a Harry the Hat card. And if they do that, oh my gosh, I will be over the moon. I would definitely want to add that to my collection. That is absolutely the coolest thing maybe ever that would be in my collection. I would love to have a Harry the Hat cut autograph card. The problem is the website for the Cheers Premiere Edition trading cards, they've had just a static image from the opening credits of Cheers promoting Premiere Edition trading cards for the better part of like 6 months now. Hopefully in the next month and a half, 2 months, the checklist will be released so we can see who signed and if there's going to be any dual autograph trading cards like Sam and Diane. I think that would be absolutely epic. Or, maybe somehow they get some cut autographs of Nicholas Colasanto, and you could have a Nicholas Colasanto and Woody Harrelson dual autograph. Might be a little weird, might be a little goofy, but who knows? So keep an eye on that on the Rittenhouse webpage, which is actually scifihobby.com, scifihobby.com. That's Rittenhouse's page. They've got all sorts of information and checklists. And by no means are they the only one out there.
No.
We could get into like the Artworks cards. They did a lot of show cards from the mid to late 2000s. Family Guy has had at least 2 sets of trading cards. And actually, I don't know if you saw this, Greg. Somebody on Non-Sports Card Nonsense found a sealed box of Family Guy trading cards the other day.
Yes.
Did you see this?
I did see this. Now, hold on. Now, I mentioned the Robert Pine signed Star Trek Voyager card I mentioned a couple weeks ago, which I have, by the way. Eric Estrada has a signed card in that Family Guy set. From the scene where Ponch is ignoring everything around him.
That is great. I wonder what autograph he got out of that box. Because he only paid $4 for the box, which is absolute theft. But he found it at Goodwill. So congratulations to that person.
Now, I should mention, if you pay attention to the show Instagram page, I did get a John Ratzenberger signed card at a card show at Hofstra last year. He had a signed top Star Wars card set. Because remember, John Ratzenberger has a cameo in The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, that's a duel that has to be done. Norm and Cliff. There has to be. that is such a natural combination right there. Especially if you get the dual sign card and they're sitting at the bar next to each other. Seriously, Rittenhouse, if you didn't do this, I almost should be mad at you. That is such a great idea.
You know, it's too bad that in the 11 years Cheers was on the air, there wasn't a scene, ironically from a show regarding Beantown, of George Wendt eating beans.
I wonder, did George Wendt ever appear on Goodnight Beantown? And did they talk to him about eating beans? Plus, also talking about Star Trek trading cards, I do realize that this refers to Star Trek movies, since there's been so many of them. But don't forget, and we talked about this in the past, John Schuck and John Larroquette had signed trading cards in different series of Star Trek movie cards.
And I have the John Schuck.
Well, I bought the John Schuck maybe about 2 months ago, and unfortunately, the guy couldn't find the card, so he had to cancel the order.
Oh.
Well, it's like, what type of seller are you if you lost? Or I think he even said it may have gotten stolen at a card show. But still, I mean, I have a good knowledge of what's in my collection, and I wouldn't just put up a card and say, hey, this is for sale, and not have it. That seems really lazy to me. So I'll get my John Schuck eventually. But actually, going through the cards real fast, I totally forgot one card that I got about 2 months ago is from Stargate Atlantis.
Oh, yes.
Richard Kind.
You want to talk about a nice guy? He's a nice guy.
He's a guy that, seriously, I'm sure I could take him to a bar and we could just chat it up for like 3, 4, 5 hours. He seems like one of the nicest guys in the world. No coincidence that his last name is Kind.
Now, hold on, Mike. I do have a card that I got maybe a while back. This is somebody we talked about on the podcast. This is from an Upper Deck 007 trading card set. A signed David Hedison card.
Oh.
Yep, from License to Kill as Felix Leiter. I think I got this for like maybe about less than $10.
Good purchase.
Yeah.
So we're done with the Rittenhouse side of cards that you can buy. I'm going to mention a series we've talked about, especially in the last 6 weeks or so, Allen and Ginter, because Allen and Ginter, it's not just baseball cards. And I think when we did the box opening about a month and a half ago, I mentioned as much. Allen and Ginter is baseball, but there's also celebrities, and there's also these oddball subsets. And it's one of those series, you only really appreciate it if you understand the Allen and Ginter history. It seems every series, there's usually a small handful of celebrities, TV show stars, who have autographs in the product. 2 years ago, and I think I've shared this on the show, and if not, this is the first time you were hearing about this. I know Greg knows about it, and Chico knows about it. In the first box, and I think I only bought one box, maybe 2 boxes of Allen and Ginter back in 2022, I got a rip card, and inside the rip card was a Scott Hansen mini autograph card, autographed in red and limited to 10. And I almost accidentally sold this card back in July, but I'm like, nope, I forgot I brought this with me. You're not buying this card. But in recent years, some of the names that have been in it and actually signed cards, you had Robert De Niro, huge get there. Ben Schwartz, who was on Parks and Recreation, I know had cards. This year, and I know Greg has reacted to this card because I don't know who this guy is, but Greg knows who it is. Tim Robinson.
Oh, yeah. From I Think You Should Leave on Netflix. Probably one of the best shows on TV right now.
Again, I don't know who the hell it is. There's a couple of other actors in here. Even during the box break, I mentioned that I had pulled a Jeff Probst card. I know Jeff Probst has autographs in this series. And that comes out generally every like October, November. And the thing is, you're not guaranteed to get any sort of celebrity autograph or celebrity swatch card. It's just so fun opening it because of just the variety. And that's not even getting into the oddball series, like the scratch and sniff cards that were in the series this year, and the 50 states and flags around the world, and food you can get at ballparks. It's just a fun little series. But there's actually one other series I want to talk about. We talked about Rittenhouse, and we talked about Alan Ginter. When I went to the National back in July, I actually went with one item in mind. I wanted to get celebrity trading cards, specifically the brand Leaf, who in the last 10 years or so, this isn't the Leaf from back in the 90s. This is like a new revitalized Leaf. They do all sorts of trading cards, but they're unlicensed, at least for sports. So if you get a baseball card, yeah, you might get an autograph or a swatch, but all the logos are airbrushed out. Same with football, same with basketball, hockey. But they are really big in doing celebrity cards. And I must have close to 15 cards here. This shows like how much I purchased online, but also at the National back in July, of just different stars that I've set aside because it's part of my personal collection. We'll start with this. Most of these are from this year, from 2024. There's a few from 2023, I believe. But Corbin Burnson? So you're talking LA Law again. No Diane Muldaur. Don't go down the elevator shaft. But here he's actually in a Cleveland Indians jersey for Major League. And actually there's a little inscription there that says Major League. And Ed Marinero.
Hill Street Blues and Blue Mountain State.
Among other things, yep. This one I bought on eBay, again, probably about 3 months ago. Bronson Pinchot. So there's your perfect strangers. I don't think Mark Lynn Baker has a card. This is television-ish. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's just an overall cool dude. I really like him. Mindy Cohn from Facts of Life. And actually really popular nowadays. What's the show she's on that is just like super popular?
She voiced Velma in later Scooby-Doo releases.
All right, Chico, go IMDb search Mindy Cohn right now.
On it.
I actually thought maybe it was from Scooby-Doo, like you talked about, but no, I thought there was one streaming show that she's... What?
Palm Royale.
Okay.
It's on Apple TV Plus.
Oh, that explains it.
But yeah, Mindy Cohn has had like a resurgence in the last year or so.
She's on that show with Kristen Wiig, Josh Lucas, Leslie Bibb, and Ricky Martin.
Ooh.
You had me at Kristen Wiig, thank you very much.
Now hold on a second. Mindy Cohn, Kristen Wiig, and Ricky Martin. Tonight's edition of Who Are Three People Who Have Never Been to My Kitchen.
Kristen Wiig can come over to my kitchen anytime she wants, just saying. Next up, I think I said too much there. Who cares?
That's what the Hutch said.
Oh my gosh, Greg. Now we're really digging into uncharted territory.
Now, hold on a second.
Hold
on. If they had an It's Always Sunny set, I would definitely go for a David Hornsby signed card. I'm not going to lie.
That would be a great set. I would love that. Maybe you should pitch that to the folks at Rittenhouse. That's actually a really good idea. The next one, this is TV-ish. This is actually a card I got in the first pack of the Leaf Pop Century that I bought at the National. Paul Williams. I know he's not necessarily known for TV, but he made a number of appearances on TV shows. And I just absolutely love Paul Williams because of Rainbow Connection. One of my favorite songs ever. This one I got on eBay probably about 3 months ago. Dan Loria, from Sullivan and Son and The Wonder Years. Alec Baldwin. And it's actually got the inscription, Always Be Closing, from Glengarry Glen Ross. And John Travolta I got from a pack. Vinnie Barbarino. And also Santa in those Capital One ads. I think they're Capital One.
Yeah, I love those ads.
And you know who plays one of the cashiers in those ads?
Yes, I know. It's Donna Pescal, isn't it?
Yes! I just found that out the other day, and it's like, when I saw the ad, son of a gun, that is Donna Pescal.
That's Shia LaBeouf's mama of Even Stevens.
Yes. And that makes me want to watch the Hanukkah episode of Even Stevens again.
This one's in my collection for obvious reasons. It's probably one of the best cards you could get of a single person in this Leaf Pop Century series. Margot Robbie. And it's actually numbered 1 out of 1, but there's literally like 110 1 out of 1s in the series of Margot Robbie. But still, very high in-demand card because she's in that movie whose name I refuse to acknowledge.
Barbie?
Shut up.
I
was going to go with The Wolf of Wall Street, but no.
No. Birds of Prey. That's the movie you're looking at.
Now with the Penguin, you could say that Margot Robbie is no longer the most famous wife that Leonardo DiCaprio was married to in that movie. Because Kristen Milotti played his other wife.
I thought you guys were mocking me there for a second.
Oh, no.
No, we're talking about how great Kristen Milotti was on the Penguin.
Well, Kristen...
I meant like before that, but whatever. In the Leaf Pop Century, there's certain subsets. All the cards that I showed these guys right now, that's their main series of cards or one of their little subsets. But these 3 cards I'm going to show you guys, these are super cool. Well, one of them is movie related, but has television ties. The other 2, oh my gosh, these are just, this is definitely, it says Retro TV. That's the actual name of the series. So you have people like Stanley Livingston from My 3 Sons.
Ooh.
That's retro television right there. And this one I absolutely love because I have fallen in love with this show once I got Cozy TV. They took it off for a while, but they put it back on the air. Pat Priest, who was on The Munsters. She was the second person to play Marilyn Munster. And then this one's the movie one. But again, related to television. It looks like a movie ticket. And the date on this ticket, which I believe coincides with the release of the movie, is November 18th of 1983. Peter Billingsley.
Christmas Story, yes.
Uh-huh. And Peter Billingsley was one of the correspondents on Real People. So those are cards from this year. I've got 2 other cards. One is from 2023 and actually is of a deceased person. So I'm guessing they signed the cards in 2022 for the 2023 release. And this one I did not pay a lot of money for on eBay. I want to say it was under $15. But one of the people we absolutely love around these parts, Leslie Jordan.
Aww.
I had to get it because, again, we love Leslie Jordan in these parts, but also not with us any longer. So, he's not signing any more cards. But this one, I think this is from 2015, 2016, it looks like. I think I showed you guys this. Ed Begley Jr. Had to get an Ed Begley Jr. card for my collection. And again, that one was, I think, $10 or so. But yeah, this Leaf Pop Century, fun to collect, little on the expensive side. There's only 4 cards per box, and each box costs in the range of $280 to $300. But if you're smart, you go on eBay and look for the singles, and they're a little less expensive. And actually, I know that Dick Van Dyke, almost 99 years old of him, he actually has signed cards in this year's Leaf Pop Century. I want to get that. Dick Van Dyke is very expensive for a Leaf Pop Century card. It's well over $75 or $100. So I think that's it. I think we've covered all the different types of cards that are out there now, not older cards, and the different variety of cards. I mean, Leaf, I think, has such a great variety. We didn't go through anywhere near all the cards I have, but there's so many different people from different backgrounds, specifically TV and movies. It's a fun open if you're willing to take a little bit of a risk, but again, if you're sort of risk averse, go on eBay, see how much they are, and most of them, especially TV celebrities from the 80s and 90s, shouldn't really run you more than probably $20, $30 a card.
Hey guys, I got something for you all. Do you want to do an eBay Price is Right?
Sure, Alan.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Is there a Canadian version of The Price is Right whose theme goes in here?
Oh, well, no, the Canadian version of The Price is Right was canceled before its first airing because they didn't want it to be paired up with Password A, I guess.
Oh, I was going to say it got canceled and replaced by Password A. Yeah, unfortunately, Canadian Price is Right didn't want to go up against that juggernaut called the Mad Dash.
Where was a living board game, Mike? How can you compete with that? That high budget that the Mad Dash had.
Yeah, all those dinners for two and $10 Canadian.
$10 Canadian, yeah, it's the equivalent of $1,000 American.
No, I think you got it the other way around. $10 American would be $1,000 Canadian. Anyhow, Alan, what's up for bids?
Okay, well, you're going to be bidding on a graded 1988 Topps Growing Pain sticker of me. Do you want to see the card, guys?
That's a stupid question, absolutely.
Well, unfortunately, it's a stupid WebP file because WebP is the devil, but I hope you get to see it. Alan, why did you have to share my chat info? Why did you have to take my info? Are you hacking into my phone, Alan? That's ridiculous.
Okay, I see it now. Jason Seaver stickers, near mint to mint 8.
It's an 8, guys.
Out of 10, yes.
All right, guys. I'm going to start the video with you, Mike.
I really don't know how much to bid here. This is weird.
Look at how good I'm playing the guitar in that sticker.
Now I know where Robin gets it from. Is this a buy it now or is this a paid price?
Yes, it's a buy it now, Mike.
Oh,
so
so
how much would you be willing to pay for this?
It's overpriced then. Okay. I'll say $35.
All right, $35, Chico. How much would you pay for this sticker of me playing the guitar?
$20.
He wins.
The price of this sticker, I'm going to say it right now. This is worth every penny. $75.
Get out of here. No.
Stop it.
That's
There it is,
criminal.
guys. $75.
Or best offer.
Best offer.
Oh, population of 1. There's none higher than this. Because it's probably the only Alan Fix sticker that's been graded. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to crack it open out of that case. And I'm going to take that sticker and put it on my Trapper Keeper. I'm going to be the absolute coolest teacher at my inner city high school. I'm going to get shot, guys.
Could you imagine your students being like, what the hell is that?
Okay, remember, on Halloween, I dressed up as Frank Cannon, and no students had any idea about what was going on. But then at the end of the day, when I casually untucked my shirt and unbuttoned it a little bit, and I loosened my tie and did the Family Guy cutaway with Cannon and his issue with cheese, oh, then the kids got it. True story, by the way. And the thing is, yeah, what do you dress up for Halloween? And I'm like, just don't ask. Just you're not going to get it. No, tell us. And they went on Google and Googled Frank Cannon, and it's like, this is a fat guy from a TV show. It's like, no kidding. But then again, end of the day, last 3 periods of the day, unbutton the shirt, unbutton the jacket I was wearing, loosen the tie, lean back a little bit. I got a problem with cheese. Oh, the kids are all over that stuff.
It's a shame William Conrad never had a signed card.
William Conrad was deceased before trading cards became big.
I know.
House and all that. Yeah.
I know. Could you imagine we could have had a signed Jacob the Fat Man card?
I would love it if there was a Quinn Martin Productions set. You have your Dan August. You have your Cannon. Hey, you want to swap, buddy? I've got a man called Sloan. Do you have any Streets of San Francisco?
Can I have a Coral Malden, please?
Ooh, look, I got a Ramon Birai card. Man, that's a deep cut there. Ramon Birai is seemingly like on every single Quinn Martin show. I've noticed that watching Cannon and Streets of San Francisco and Barnaby Jones. He's one of Quinn Martin's favorites. Boy, we've just absolutely gone off the beaten path here. This has been crazy. Let's wrap it up by saying TV shows, they've had trading cards over the years, and even now, there's current trading cards, but there's trading cards currently made of old shows. And maybe you or a loved one would love to have one of those cards under the Christmas tree this year, or under the Hanukkah menorah, or however you celebrate this holiday season. And this is a really crappy transition, but all those cards are somehow things on TV.
You can find us at our website, itwasathingontv.com, on Facebook at It Was a Thing on TV Podcast, and elsewhere at It Was a Thing on TV. You can find us on any podcast player, and we're also on YouTube, where you can subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with our releases, including what's coming up next time.
We did a little vote, and I think our voting mechanisms got a little screwed up. Because I know on Threads, the poll was only up for 24 hours. And there was no way to have it last longer than 24 hours. So I think today we learned, Thread polls, they're good for 24 hours. Don't try doing one for a week. So we sort of sussed out what TV show is going to be covered next time. And actually, we came to a mutual agreement, the three of us, about what show we're going to cover, even though this show tied for the top vote. So somebody made a concession, and put your hand down. We're not going to say who made the concession. We're going to surprise the people. One of us made a concession, and that person's going to cover their show sometime in the 2025 calendar year. But we did agree on that one show that's going to be covered. And I'm not telling you what it is. I'm back on Thursday to know whether it's going to be the Mega Man animated series or Flow or whatever that Bosom Buddies ripoff from the 2010s was that Greg put up.
Work it.
Yeah, that one. Boy, I wonder if that's the one we chose. Come back here on Thursday and you'll find out which show we're going to cover right here on the next episode of It Was a Thing on TV. As always, thank you very much for listening. Stay safe, and we will catch you on Thursday with that mystery show.
Rawr!
All right, let's see if we can pull something epic out of here. All right, here we go. Pop Century. We've done a couple of these in the past, so hopefully we get something cool. Oh, excited. All right. For our first one, we have a Sam J. Jones. Holy smoke. Sam Jones, The Flash. Oh my gosh. 3 of 7. This is awesome. You received an autograph card from the Leaf Trading Cards. One on the front card is the authentic autograph of Sam J. Jones. As authentic as autograph is guaranteed by Leaf, yada, yada, yada. This is freaking awesome. The Flash autograph. Flash Gordon. Holy shnikes. Wow. That's awesome. Wow. I think that's a huge hit. That's a huge hit in my book anyway. Wow. Number 7, Sam Jones, The Flash. Love that movie when I was growing up. Oh, even the pinball machine's fun if you ever get a chance to play that. All right, that's number 1. That's number 1. Holy smokes. So freaking cool. All right, our second one. You guys ready? Here we go. Number 10. We've got Bam Margera. 8 to 10. Help me out. Who's Bam Margera? I'm not sure. I don't follow all the series stuff, so maybe it's from a popular series. Bam Margera, numbered to 10. I know who Flash Gordon is. Oh, epic. Epic. I love it. All right. And number 5, Jeff Garlin. Oldie but goodie. Number 5, Jeff Garlin. Pretty cool. There he is, number 5, Jeff Garlin. All right, now let's see what our fourth and final Pop Century. Oh, what do we got here? All right. Numbered 2. What is that? 9. Number to 9, we've got Dolph Lundgren. That's awesome. So I don't know. I kind of know who Jeff Garlin is, but Dolph Lundgren and Sam